Let's take a look at what the Minnesota Attorney General has to say about the Prenda law scheme. This is the Prenda law copyright troll. It was a piracy scheme of sorts. They were catching potential pirates, but the potential pirates turned out to be exonerated by Prenda law's bad conduct, or what we call unclean hands. This is for victims of USA versus Paul Hansmeier et al. And so this includes John Steele. If you have been the victim of either Paul Hansmeier or John Steele, which you wouldn't actually really know that, you might remember it from your case if you've been particularly harmed by one of these cases, but you would know it as Prenda law or Steele Hansmeier law or Alpha law or the anti-piracy group AF Holdings, Ingenuity 13, Guava LLC, Livewire, or LW Systems, then we have a special treat for you. The judge in the case, Judge Joan N. Erickson, is going to sentence Paul Hansmeier at 9:30 a.m. in Minneapolis on June 4th, 2019. Hansmeier and Steele were charged and convicted of orchestrating a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme in which they obtained payments from victims to settle sham pornography film copyright infringement lawsuits. At the sentencing hearing, the court may, but is not required to, order Hansmeier and Steele to pay restitution to the victims of their scheme. If you believe you are a victim of the scheme and actually paid money to the entities involved in the case, including but not limited to, I'll list them again, Steele Hansmeier Law, Prenda Law, Alpha Law, Anti-Piracy Group, AF Holdings, Ingenuity 13, Guava LLC, Livewire, or LW Systems, then please visit the website here to obtain information on how to make a claim. The website is Hansmeier, Hansmeier, Hansmeier.usao crimevictims.org. Hansmeier.usaocrimevictims.org, as in U.S. Attorney's Office crimevictims.org. So if you visit that website, you'll be greeted with this very simple form: U.S. Attorney's Office, District of Minnesota, victims of Hansmeier. Submit your information, first and last name, street address, city, state, zip, telephone, email, confirm your email, name of the entity you made a payment to, date the payment was made, means by the payment was made, documentary evidence for your payment, canceled checks, credit cards, etc. You can attach things in your browser here and then submit this form, and that should hopefully be enough information for them to begin including your claim in the case against Paul Hansmeier. So, isn't that really freaking cool that after so many years, because it's been since 2012 is when they were beginning this scheme and really getting fully into it around 2013 and 14, which then resulted in various investigations, and the Minnesota Attorney General eventually got involved, and courts plus the Minnesota Attorney General uncovered, and a few diligent attorneys as well, uncovered the scheme. If you don't recall the scheme, they didn't own the copyrights that they said that they did, even resorting to literally making their own. And the copyrights that could have been potentially protected and therefore could be infringed in a recoverable or remediable way that wouldn't be illegal, instead they simply uploaded those copyrights themselves. Paul Hansmeier's brother, I believe, uploaded the copyrighted material to the very same Pirate Bay website or tracker that would then be used to allow the connecting to a torrent swarm, for lack of a better word, and allow massive copyright infringement. This swarm would then have hundreds of people or thousands of people downloading their material, and they would simply collect IP addresses, gather them all into either one lawsuit or several lawsuits, ask for the identity behind each of the IP addresses, the subscriber's identity, and then issue a demand letter, usually around $3,000 for the clearing your name. They would put your name on their website, and they'd put the listing of your case and the claims and the listing of the titles with the pornographic title names uncovered, so that anybody could see that John Smith, John Smith's real name, was accused of downloading these pornographic titles. And many of the titles were it's hard in 2019 to use the correct word. This was not straight. This was usually homosexual sex. And while there's nothing wrong with that, in the broader sense, in the practical sense, some people are still very much concerned about keeping their interests in homosexual sex secret because of stigma, because of personal situations, etc. I'm not saying it has anything to do with that, but the fact that it was then published on the website was meant to embarrass people into paying a settlement. And this was all found to be part of the fraud, part of the conspiracy, part of the shakedown scheme or the extortion scheme. And it's why everyone is so wary of current copyright fishing expeditions, because they look just like this, and if nobody ever investigates at this level, no one would ever uncover the next Prenda law. And I'm not going to accuse anybody, but the other copyright fishing expeditions seem to also be built on tenuous or sandy ground. If you are a victim of the Prenda law copyright trolling expedition, extortion, shakedown scheme, you can submit your claim here. If anyone needs any help submitting their claim, I'll be happy to either help them if I am ethically able to, and if I am somehow not because of location or something, then I will simply help you find someone who can help you. I was trying to find a nice way to say that some people think that gay porn is like stigmatized. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with it, but thank you for joining me for this episode of Lawful Masses. With you, my lawful masses. This is a community-supported channel. Thank you very much to our Patreon supporters, our sponsors, our Twitch subscribers, and shortly here we'll have the YouTube join button turned on. Thank you very much to our April 2019 supporters at the $50 plus level: John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Eevi, Andy, Kyle Mudrak, Verement, Tayne, Michael Pearce, Terry Crisp, Richard Fournier, Spirit Bear, Jan Negrey, Daniel Perez, Aspernari, Snorre Wisotzky, Sean McNamara, Aetaric. Thank you very much for your support. And thank you to the $5 plus supporters who are scrolling on the LED panel behind me, as well as will appear in the description of the video below. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. I'll leave some room here for our editors, including me, to have some dog video in the outro. So I love you very much. Have a great week. Bye.